Good day everybody, welcome to a Chart Nerd VELO update, and today we will be discussing a couple of hot topics, one of which I will start with is technical analysis. I will show you some fractals and potential plays that I'm looking for right now in trying to identify this local bottom during this correction for VELO. And secondly, I wanted to focus a little bit more today on Lightnet and their participation at the Money 2020 event in Asia that is occurring in Q2 this year. It is the biggest blockchain finance event in Asia, so this is something you don't want to miss. Do stay tuned. Nothing that I say is financial advice. Let's dive in. So we're going to start with the charts today, and following on from my bullish divergence video which I released a couple of days ago, we're looking at the daily time frame here for VELO. Now we have this 0.022, which is the key level of resistance that was a previous level of support, and you can see that this level of resistance was created on the 9th of February, and ever since then VELO has been in this sort of downward trend, putting in lower highs and lower lows. Now in regards to the bullish divergence, this is still valid. Now you can see here that we have this lower low trend line. Okay, so we had these lows that occurred on the 2nd of February and 3rd of February, which was this 0.013 wick. Okay, but the candle lows managed to close out above 0.017. Okay, so we had these 0.017 candle lows which started this lower low trend line, and now fast forward a couple of weeks later, we have actually retraced bang on, closing yesterday bang on the 0786 at 0.0137. So if you was watching the video I put out a few days ago, I was saying that if we did lose the 0.017 on the 0618, do look for the 786 as a potential target, and that has now come into fruition with yesterday's close bang on the money. Now again, we have the lower lows here in price, but if you look at the RSI, you've got the low here from the 2nd and 3rd of February, with higher lows in yesterday's candle close on the 4th of March. So we've got higher lows still in the RSI, but lower lows in the price. Okay, so this is a bullish, I was about to say bearish, this is a bullish divergence that is playing out on the daily time frame. And with this at the same time, we also do have the stock RSI, which is back down in the very oversold areas for some sort of double bottom, what it looks like here. And again, just wanted to highlight really and truly here, the bullish divergence is still in play and still in motion. Now, let's keep it real here. If we do lose the 0786 fib at 0.0137, we could potentially come down to 0.010/0.009, which was this previous low here that we're retracing to from our 0.038 high back down to this November low of 0.010. Okay, so this is the retracement. We're coming back from this high back to this low, and right now these were the key fib levels to keep in mind that we wanted to see relief. So 50% of the wick, 50, the 050 at 50%, you got the 0618, and now we've got the 0786, which really and truly, if we do analyze this, guys, I was saying in the past that if VELO doesn't break 2-2 resistance, okay, and runs into that resistance, then potentially we're going to come back for a higher low and fill this wick in. So right now that has occurred. Okay, you've got the last sort of 3 days here where VELO has managed to fill in this wick from early February, and with doing so it has found support on 78% of filling this wick in. So we found support on the 0786 fib. Do spit it out, I'm getting a bit mumbled in there, sorry, I do apologize. But you can see here that we've come back to this key level of support. We've got the lower lows in the trend line here in the price, and we've still got the higher low structure in the RSI. So this bullish divergence is still valid unless we lose this local low and start putting in lower lows in the RSI here and invalidating this divergence. So the bullish divergence on the daily is still valid. Now, if we come over to the weekly very quickly here as well, there is also another hidden bullish divergence that's going on here, because we've got higher lows in the price action right here in regards to candle closes, albeit considered. We do need to wait for this week's candle close to keep this valid. Sorry, you've got higher lows building here on the weekly, but in the RSI, sorry, you've got lower lows right here. So you've got higher lows in price, lower lows in the RSI, and the stock RSI on the weekly is also in the floor. This is called a hidden bullish divergence, okay guys, and this is building and forming as long as we can get these closes above the 0.013. Okay, because what we've got here, what it looks like is a potential 1, 2, 3, very shallow 4, and a wave 5. And as long as we can keep building higher lows from these previous lows of November, as long as we can build higher lows and continue to see decline in the RSI, the larger this hidden but bullish divergence gets, and the more oversold the stock RSI will be, which indicates we are to soon see a potential reversal. So there's very good signs here on both the daily and the weekly time frame. The daily has a normal bullish divergence, and the weekly is building a hidden bullish divergence. Great signs for VELO. Now, coming over to some of my posts on X here, and this is covering the weekly time frame. I've said that we've got a flipped SR on previous resistance. So this is where we had the triangle resistance before, ever since May. Okay, we had this trend line. Now, what's happened is VELO broke out of that trend line and is correcting in a 5-wave correction, looking to pull back for a flipped SR on this resistance. So we had this triangle that we were squeezing in for several months. We broke out, and right now we're back testing in a falling wedge. We're back testing the flipped SR zone of this triangle. Okay, so we're coming back to the triangle resistance for a level of support, which I think will create and complete this 5-wave correction in Elliott wave theory in a falling wedge pattern, which is a bullish reversal pattern, by the way, guys. When you come up to a peak and you're correcting in a falling wedge in an uptrend, this is a corrective pattern that will eventually, more than likely, I think it's like a high 70 to 80% chance that it will break out to the upside and continue the trend direction that it's come from. Okay, so right now we've got the EWT correction and we're inside wave 5. So this was yesterday at 0.014. I do believe we've come down to 0.0137 as of today, which would actually, in theory, for me, complete near enough this wave 5. Very, very close. It could be completing it, but trying to pick and identify the exact bottom, guys, I don't want to get smelly fingers, and I don't want to throw out targets saying, okay, this is where I think it is. Nothing that I say is financial advice. I just believe we're in this wave 5 inside a falling wedge, coming back to a flipped SR zone on the previous triangle resistance, looking for support before getting this sort of V-shaped recovery. I do think we will recover quite quick from this sort of however many months this is. It's a good sort of few months, isn't it, guys? You know, since late December, early January, we've been sort of pulling back quite harshly here. But again, all of these signs point to a correction, pulling back to a key level of support, creating a flipped SR within 5 waves and a falling wedge pattern about to break out. So I think right now we do need to keep focus on these patterns, but if we are to lose a key level of support, okay, keep in mind what I was just saying about 0.012 being the low here. If we can't sort of hold support around that sort of area, I think if we zoom out to the monthly, this is a bit of a clearer picture. Okay, so this will only be valid if we lose our 0.013 local low. So the play I'm about to show you, if we lose 0.013, this is the play that I would be looking for VELO moving forward on the monthly time frame. Okay, and this is an expanded flat ABC correction. This scenario would bring us back once again to our Adam and Eve support neckline, which is a flipped SR zone. Believe it or not, this is a bullish continuation pattern back to key support. Corrections are normal. So what you've got is this A wave, which brought us back down to the Adam and Eve resistance and turned it into support. So you've got Adam and Eve support here, which was the breakout, and then we had the A wave back to that support, which is 0.009, guys. Okay, so the A wave came back to 0.009, and then we put in this B wave, which the wicks did take us up to 0.038, but you've got an irregular B wave here, which is the expanded B wave, before coming into this C wave, which potentially brings us to ascending support, to this ascending support right here. Okay, so we haven't actually come back and back tested this ascending support since sort of early 2024. I think this is in the chart. So, you know, we do have the potential of coming back to this dotted line, which would be back testing the 382 fib and the Adam and Eve support inside an expanded flat ABC correction. So if we do get max pain and max euphoria and we do lose this 0.013 low, then simply look for 0.009, which is the neckline of the Adam and Eve structure, and all we could be doing is, okay guys, we've had that Adam and Eve pattern, we've got the breakout, and all we're doing is correcting in this ABC correction above the Adam and Eve support in a macro correction, looking for continuation of the trend. And in theory, what you've got is this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, this is potentially a wave 3, or we could have waves within waves in this subset here as well. And right now, this is just a complex macro expanded flat ABC correction, looking for a wave 4 before getting the next wave 5 sort of blow off top to complete this macro move, which doesn't necessarily have to end the market for VELO, but I think once the next impulsive wave comes in, which is towards 10 cents, we then see another further sort of larger correction somewhere down the line. So I think that right now this is just a complex wave 4 within waves coming back to a key level of support if we lose 0.013 in an expanded ABC flat correction, expanded flat, and then looking for the breakout towards 10 cents, which would be, again, from here, a rough 10x. So that's something to keep your eyes on, guys. Now, coming away from technical analysis, I really wanted to focus on Lightnet, and I found out some nice little stats here. VELO's sister company Lightnet Growth has rocketed through late 2024 into 2025 with a future growth prediction being very likely. So you can see here, you've got the heat score, which is 58 and is currently climbing, and you've got the growth score, which is 92. Now, this growth score took a really big sort of turn to the upside in mid sort of 2024, and you can see that this uptick is nearly pushed up to 100. Okay, so the growth coming into 2025 for Lightnet is going exponential, and you can see here that the heat score is also starting to climb back up. And again, it says here the growth prediction, which was updated in sort of early January, is 95 and very likely for future growth. So that's great signs there. Now, continuing with Lightnet and discussing Money 2020 in Asia, which is a massive blockchain event. I've tweeted here that I'm excited to see Lightnet participate in the Asia Money 2020 event in April. I wonder what developments we will hear about in regards to the virtual banking ties. So coming back to this post here, Lightnet president Dr. Che Lee will be speaking at the Money 2020 event in Bangkok on Tuesday the 22nd of April between 3:50 and 4:20. So do get this noted down in your calendars, guys. April the 22nd, 3:50 to 4:20. We have a Lightnet president discussing some hot topics on licensing digital banks in Asia, visions and opportunities. So Dr. Che Lee will be speaking. He is the Lightnet president, and this is on April the 22nd. Now, I have put some little dots here, okay, in regards to the digital banks in Asia, the visions and opportunities. In 2024, Dr. Che Lee was appointed the senior advisor of the WeLab and Lightnet virtual banking license. And Dr. Che Lee is also the senior executive vice president and chief digital banking officer at SCB. So this guy has connections throughout the whole loop, okay? And I said here as well that I have a slight inkling that the potential approval of the banking license with WeLabs and Lightnet ties directly to the CBDC app between both SCB and Thailand, and the project between SCB, Lightnet, SCB 10X, and Fireblocks that has exited and cleared the Thai Phuket programmable payments crypto sandbox. So again, we've got Dr. Che Lee, who is the senior advisor of Lightnet and WeLab, the consortium for the virtual banking license. And he also works with SCB and BOT to collaborate on and launch the retail CBDC SCB app pilot project. So there's a lot going on here, and he is speaking at this event in Money 2020. Exciting. What could we hear? All eyes on Q2 for VELO and Lightnet. It is one big loop. Now, keeping on that sort of topic there, and programmable payments and the crypto sandbox, CBDCs, SCB, Lightnet, keeping to all of that. Coming across to Money 2020 in Asia, the sort of key agenda on Tuesday is all about banking, virtual banking, the Bank of Thailand, from open finance to an inclusive digital society, the next trend in payments for Southeast Asia, high touch, high tech, disrupting traditional wealth management, legacy banks is the new economy, innovation, agility, digital banks versus legacy banks, democratizing access to borderless financial ecosystems through interoperability, pathway to profitability through digital banks. There's so much that's actually going to be discussed here on Tuesday, the 22nd of April, in regards to banks and their pathways. So this is something we don't want to miss. And this is where we're going to have Lightnet's, our president of Lightnet, Dr. Che Lee, speaking in this panel right here between licensing digital banks in Asia, visions and opportunities at 3:50 p.m. on Tuesday, the 22nd of April. So do get that locked in and make sure you are there. Now, if we come over to the 2025 speakers, speakers and type in Che Lee here, again, it will pop up with Dr. Che Lee as the president of Lightnet Group, who is discussing, who is one of the speakers at this event. So something massive to look forward to there. Now, keeping touch on SCB and Dr. Che Lee and Lightnet and the CBDC apps, all these sort of things, right? The WeLab virtual banking license. Keep in touch on all of that. Coming over to the Bank of Thailand's website in regards to the regulatory sandbox. And here it says projects under the sandbox and number of participants by the project. So they've got several projects. They've got the programmable payment project, the digital RD, TrustBiz Connect, e-money, cross-border payments, letters of guarantees, biometrics, QR payments, peer-to-peer lending, and national digital ID. So there is at least 10 projects under this sandbox that have multiple participants, right? And we already know that SCB partnered with Lightnet to revolutionize cross-border payments and remittances with stablecoin powered by Fireblocks. Okay, so cross-border payments, SCB and Lightnet coming over to the list of participants for cross-border money transfers projects under the regulatory sandbox. Okay, cross-border money transfers, which is exactly what SCB has partnered up with Lightnet for, cross-border payments and remittances. It says down here that CM Commercial Bank has successfully tested and exited the regulatory sandbox. So this is waiting to come into fruition. It is waiting to come into fruition. And SCB has direct ties coming back to Mr. Che Lee, as he is, he's the Senior Executive Vice President and Chief Digital Banking Officer at SCB. So you've got him joining and connecting Lightnet with SCB for cross-border payments. And in the regulatory sandbox under the project for cross-border money transfers, SCB has successfully tested and exited. Everything interlinks here, guys, and I feel like it's just waiting for the announcement. Now, something else very interesting that I wanted to touch base on. This was the list of participants for programmable payment projects under the enhanced regulatory sandbox. So this comes under programmable payments if you click on this section, and what it comes up with here again is SCB10X, who is one of the partners for the Lightnet and SCB and Fireblocks to revolutionize cross-border payments. So again, that ties in to the programmable payments sector here in regards to distributed ledger technology and smart contracts, guys. Smart contracts. VELO is all about smart contracts. So all of these, again, are tying back to VELO Labs, to SCB, to Lightnet, and to Dr. Che Lee, who is speaking at this money event in 2020. Do not miss it. Do not miss it, guys. One other thing that I really wanted to touch base on as well before I go. Now, this is something very speculative, and I do need to do some more digging in, guys. So please, again, nothing that I say is financial advice. But down here, I think this is a new programmable payment partner or company that's been included in this project. For programmable payments, right, within the sandbox. And it says OM Platform Company Limited, which is an ESCO payment service, and is being tested from April 2025 to March 2026. So this is something to, look forward to down the lines in regards to the advancements of Thailand and its sandbox, crypto sandbox. But OM really stuck out to me. Now, I've seen OM a couple of times on some diagrams from VELO in regards to OmniPoints and Orbit, and I didn't know if there was any sort of ties here, but I've done some digging and had a look at OM Platform. So OM Platform is a lifestyle blockchain platform, okay, and therefore remittance, micropayments, and reduced merchant fees. Sound like VELO? Just a little. So I decided to have a little bit more of a dive into it, and you can see here that it also has a Visa. They support multiple payment types like Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Alipay, WeChat, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Stellar, and OM Coin. Okay, OM Coin. So what I was looking at here, it says OM Platform are a blockchain platform working on OM chain network to enable sent digital asset without agent intermediary, immediately settled and secure. Could this platform be running on VELO technology? Micropayments, remittance, reduced merchant fees. And again, coming over to OM Platform on LinkedIn, it says here that they are a blockchain platform that helps business owners create a solution for their business with blockchain wallet, digital assets issuing, VELO, and online payment gateway integration through the platform to match a modern user's lifestyle. So again, there's no direct ties here, guys, but it sounds like VELO. And this is a platform that has been integrated into the sandbox for April to 2026 of this year to next year. Now, why is this important? Why is this important? Sorry. Well, I came over to the superposition concept of the loyalty point program between OmniPoints and VELO. Now, I know that this is very speculative, guys, but if you focus here in regards to the Web3 project partners coming through VELO Finance and the OM token before transitioning to Orbit for multi-chain support and then going to the merchant networks on the Web2 side, you've got OM token. Is OM token, at first I thought this was Mantra or OmniPoint's own token, but the more I look into it and the more that we see about programmable payments, the more I checked about OM platform, which is a lifestyle blockchain platform that they are based in Thailand as well, Chiang Mai, should I say, a software development company in Chiang Mai with 11 to 50 employees. Is this what VELO are talking about here? You know, I've seen this diagram several times, and I always wondered what OM token was. But it says here in their platform that they are focusing on building a coin, wasn't it? OM coin, OM platform, a blockchain platform working on on-chain network to settle to enable sent digital asset without agent or intermediary, immediately settled and secure. VELO removes intermediaries, it's immediately settled and it's secure. It just seems all too coincidental. And they've got the OM wallet, which is a digital wallet for retail customers, which can store multiple digital assets, store cryptos, employee ID cards, so on and so forth. You've got tokenization. The merchant can create digital assets token by your own. Token is a digital asset and can represent the goods services for your own company. So is this something that we could potentially see implemented or integrated through VELO? Again, you've got the blockchain layer, which is Ethereum based here, the contracts, the APIs, the existing business system operation, the storefront, the Web3 application. It all goes from Web3 back into Web2 and the users. This all looks very similar to OmniPoint. And it just clicked my mind that OM token was included here with Orbit and the OmniPoints and social platforms. So again, this could be nothing, but it could be something. And it's definitely worth keeping your eyes on it because again, it's, you know, the OM platform is included in the Bank of Thailand's regulatory sandbox. They have very similar goals and use cases to VELO. They're a Thai-based company and OM is mentioned in the loyalty point program platform. So again, that's just something I really wanted to tap onto today, guys. I do need to do some more digging myself, and feel free to have a look online yourself and have a little scope around. But if you do find anything, please get to me on Twitter. My handle is @ChartNerdTA, and we can have a bit of a discussion. But I hope you've enjoyed content today, guys. From ChartNerdTA, take care. Peace out.